everyone, welcome back to my guitar lessons. I hope you guys understood the first session which was explained by me on the introduction to the guitar. So a quick recap, like I had included the information about the first six strings, that is the string 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Their individual names. String number 1 is called as E, string number 2 is called as B, string number 3 is called as G, string number 4 is called as D, string number 5 is called A, and string number 6 is again called as E. So if we notice over here, we have two strings which are named as E. The first string E is the highest, that is called a high string, like sa. If you just see the sixth one, if we see it as a low, sa, right? So we had covered up that. Then we had come across something called as frets, F-R-E-T-S. So in frets, we understood what exactly the individual notes are, what exactly the names are. Like for example, if I play on the first string, first fret, first finger, that the first finger, the first note would be the F note, right? So it is just the musical alphabets which was explained, that A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Like these are the musical alphabets, and this would be covered. This basically this is the the construction of the music theory. Like every music is based on this, right? So now moving on to the next topic, scales. So what exactly the scales are? So we might have heard across sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa. Somewhere in our day-to-day life, we might have come across these 8 notes. Basically, there are 7 notes, but the 8th is again ending up with the sa. So we might have come across this sa re ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. So when these notes are played one after the other in a particular manner, when I say a particular pattern or a particular manner, means like one after the other, like sa, after sa it comes re, after re it comes ga, after ga it comes ma, pa, dha, ni, sa, right? So these things, they constitute a scale, right? So now since we are understood with we are very much fine with the definition of the scales. Now what exactly are we planning to do, right? So I have explained you about like the individual the notes A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Like this group of 7 constitutes the whole music theory. The whole music is based on this, right? And also that A sharp, then C sharp, and all those things, right? So even if we see like A, then A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, and so on. So all these are called as scales. But in a combined thing, we just make it A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, right? So there are total 7. So now let's understand like how this scales will help us in our songs. So let me tell you one thing. So for every individual scale, like for A, B, C, D, E, F, G, it would be completely different. Right now, what I'm gonna play is the A major scale, A for Apple or A for Aurangabad, right? So what exactly? How do we find this? The scale. That would be explained in detail in my class, right? So it is something like sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, sa ni dha pa ma ga re sa. This is A major scale, right? So similarly, there are a lot of scales. There are A sharp scale. So how do you know this is A sharp? How do you play A sharp? How do you play B? Then how do you play C sharp, D sharp? So all those things would be explained in my class, right? So let's try again. And let's see how this particular A major scale came up, right? So since we knew that the notes, if we just see on the E string, this is the first string E. After E, if I press the first note over here, my first string and the first finger, like on the first string, so this becomes F, then F sharp, then G, G sharp, A sharp, and so on. Similarly, if I play on the second string, it would be B. After B, it would be C. So this particular first note on the second string would be the C, then C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, and so on. Right? Similarly, when I say on the third string name is G, right? So when I say G, the first note on the third string would be G sharp. Then after that, the second note would be A, right? So I played something on the third string second fret, that is A. So this particular note I had played. So Sa. Then I had played something on the third string fourth fret, Re. Then I had played something on the second string. This is Ga. That is second string second fret. Then followed by second string third fret, Ma. Then Pa would be on the second string fifth fret. Then Dha would be on the second string the first string second fret. Then Ni would be on the first string fourth fret. Then Sa would be again on the first string fifth fret. So Sa Re Ga Ma Pa Da Ni Sa. So how do you understand? Like, I got the first note A, right? And after that, if we see, after the A note, I got the Re part. Sa Re Ga Ma Pa Da Ni Sa. Sa Ni Da Pa Ma Ga Re Sa. Right? Sa Re Ga Ma Pa Da Ni Sa. Sa Ni Da Pa Ma Ga Re Sa. Right? So we see over here that the first note is A. Then after A comes the A sharp. So I am not playing A sharp, but I am playing the B note. B note. Then I'm playing the second string, second fret. That is, the second string name is B, right? So after B it comes C. Then I'm playing C sharp. C sharp. Then I'm playing D note. Then I'm playing the second string fifth fret note. So it is F. Then the first string second note, second fret note is, so when we have the first string as E, then the first note would be F, and then F sharp. Dha would be F sharp. Then Ni would be G sharp, and then again Sa, right? So the Sa is which note? Can you guess this? So if we just count E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, and A, right? So we are ending on the A note, correct? So if we just see, this A scale has total 3 sharps, right? So F sharp, G sharp, and yeah. So let's find out again. So it's very simple. It's very easy. First thing, we find out the A note. This is the first A note. Then we are playing the B note. Then we are going with the second string second fret. The second string is what? We are knowing that it is B string. Then we have C sharp, right? So the C sharp is number 1. Then Ma is D. Then you have, which is the one? So let's count again. So this particular C sharp, D, E, F note, right? Then we have this particular thing on the first string second fret. So if it is F, if the first string is E, then the first note would be F, then second would be F sharp. So you have F sharp, so C sharp and F sharp, then G sharp and Sa. So 3 sharps. Now what exactly these sharps are, that would be explained in the later phase of the class, right? So sharps are basically denoted by the hash keys. You might have seen the hash keys in the mobile, right? So it is somewhat similar to that. So there are 2 types of keys, like hash key and the flat keys. Like there's not more difference, but I'll explain you since you guys get familiar with these things, right? So we just know right now, we should just know that the A major scale is, I also explained you in terms of the alphabetical manner, that is, it starts with A, ends with A, and it starts with A, B, and then so on, ends with again A, right? This is how you find out the notes, correct? This was all about the A major scale. Similarly, we will have G major scale, like Sa Re Ga Ma Pa Da Ni Sa. It starts with G note. Let's count how G note. We have the E string first. So this is an open E. Then we have F note, F sharp, and then this is G. So Sa Re Ga Ma Pa Da Ni Sa. If I want to play on the high part, Sa Re Ga Ma Pa Da Ni Sa. So again. So Sa Re Ga Ma Pa Da Ni Sa. Then sa re ga ma pa da ni sa, right? So that something which I played was not finding familiar, right? So there was some particular notes were diminished, right? So what exactly this diminished, this some diminished minor, seventh minor, seventh major, or someone we might come across later on later phase. So these are all different patterns of playing a scale, right? So I for just for now you just have to focus on what exactly a scale and how they are being played. So sa re ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga re sa re ga ma pa da ni sa. So this is called as A major, G major scale, right? So the next session is all about the chords, right? So as and when, so before that, like just one thing, like I have not covered all the scales over here. It's just two of them, that is A major and G major. I'll be covering the rest of the scales once we join the session. Once you guys will be joining my classes, I'll explain you each and every scale in a brief, and how these scales constitutes to a song, and how does we identify exactly what the song will have, like what kind of scale it will have, what kind of chord it will have, how the time signature would be there, right? Everything would be played to in a proper understanding way, and yeah, so that's how we'll begin. So for now, I'm sure that you might have understood the A major scale and G major scale. It is very easy. It is, you can also find out, since it's not a rocket science or anything. It's very very easy, since all you need to know is the individual notes name, right? So once you are familiar with that, the job becomes easy. The only thing is the rhythm part, like the sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa, where exactly the re would, how the re would sound, how the ga would sound, how the ma would sound, how the pa would sound, dha ni sa. So that comes with the practice, right? Again, if you are if you have not understood, I'll play the A major scale: sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. Again, sa re ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. Right? The G major scale: sa re ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. Right? Sa re ga ma pa da ni sa. Then if I want to play sa re ga, so this particular note, I'm playing something called diminished, but I want to play normal right now. So sa re ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma da re sa. Right? So these notes do matter a lot. Every individual notes have their own significance, right? Right? Similarly, we have E major scale, we have D major scale, we have F major scale, we have C major scale. So this is C major scale, right? So these things would be covered up once you join up the classes. I'm sure it is little tough on the initial base, but once we are familiar with all these things, it will be very easy for you to understand, right? All you need to know is all about your notes, right? The individual frets notes. Okay, so what we need to do for now, for a couple of weeks, is just and so on, right? So once you are familiar with the A major scale, that is sa re ga ma pa da ni sa, try to play in a slow pattern, then medium pattern, then fast pattern. Sa re ga ma pa da ni sa, something like that, right? Similarly, C major scale, right? Everything would be there. So it is all about the practice. So again, the definition, if we just memorize it in a summary, then scales is sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa, played in a particular pattern, one after the other. That is sa, after that re, after that ga, after that ma, then pa, then da, then ni, and then sa. This particular pattern is called as scales, and we have different scales for the different musical alphabets: A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Right? This A, B, C, D, E, F, G has been broken into like A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, and so on again. Right? It is very easy, and I hope you guys understand it. Best of luck. I'll see you in the next session.